Hey guys, this is going to be the first code that I look at. I just did this one in particular because I'm mostly familiar with Route 66. Um, Also, the last team I worked with did a ball comp, and I believe you guys do kind of, yeah, you guys do a ball comp. So this is just kind of where my comfort zone is. But if you guys have any other codes or like particular instances in the last scrim that you want to look at, I mean, shoot me a DM and I'll be more than happy to look over them. Um, I think the communication was great, especially for a team that has never like worked together before. Like, I think maybe two or three of you guys actually knew each other before, but it was very well done. Like Fogsy said, there were a lot of moments of like where people were kind of taking their own initial leadership. Somebody would say something and people like you guys would actually be on it. So I think we got a really good foundation to work off of. So what I want to look at now is like team comps, positioning, and synchronicity, whether that be in just like your day-to-day cooldowns, like your slam and your dynamite, or with the ults. There just needs to be consistent synchronicity because Overwatch is. I'm just going to do a little bit of macro here so that everything else I say could make a little bit more sense. Overwatch is about, especially and coordinated team play, not so much in rank, is about synchronizing spikes of pressure. And if you synchronize those spikes of pressure just right, that's ultimately how you win the team fight. I could go on about win conditions, but I don't think that's super important right now. As long as you guys are doing things at the same time, we should be able to heed good results. So, I mean, simple as it is, it's like slam and dynamite at the same time, right? If ball dives, tracer dives. That's all it is. It's right. Sounds pretty simple, but it's a little bit hard to execute on paper. And the only way that we can synchronize those spikes in pressure is through good communication. And ultimately, we are gonna. I know there was a little bit of discussion about an IGL. We are gonna have to have an IGL. Ultimately, I think it depends a little bit on the comp. I guess not too much, but like ball should be giving you I'm in, I'm out. And honestly, I don't think too many comps matter besides that. Or I guess better said, you guys already kind of have a good grip on that. Be like, okay, right, only Lucio heals, or this guy's one, or go this right. We know that already. So now it's just the I guess the kiting, or the engagement and disengagement timing. And that's going to be really easy to see on a comp like this, where you guys really don't have as much mid-fight power, because really, like, your only poke heroes are Ash and Kiri. I'm going to do a little bit about personal responsibility, but I don't want to do that too much. I just want to talk about the rotates and how you guys can be linking things together as a team. If you guys want to work on something in particular, or with a specific hero, send me like rank codes and stuff like that, or be like, hey, I really want to look at this scrim code from my POV. Okay. Besides that, I really like this team comp. I think this is well situated because you got the ball tracer, which is quite strong. You got the Ash, who can click heads off of the slams, and then you got the Lucio Kiri, so you can speed in and out, and then Kiriko can go on off angles, and she can teleport back to the Ash. In regards to their enemy team comp, we got to look out for matrixing the dynamite. We got to look out for Vendetta diving backline. So there's going to be a little bit of peel involved, and that's going to kind of come down to this really mobile support backline. Everybody is going to be on Joe. It's just like that's just kind of the nature of how this is going to work. It's going to be difficult to dive as well with the on a brig, so we want to make sure we do soft engages so that we're able to bait out important cooldowns before we actually go in, which means sometimes that ball might just have to roll through and he might just have to eat a sleep or something like that, and then you guys can reset and then you can do the actual dive. So that way we don't just get melted the second we try to go for something. Like, you got to bait out turret form, you got to bait out nade, you just got to do something to make your life a little bit easier. Positioning wise, I like this with Kiriko. You can take an off angle, get a little bit of poke damage, and then you can teleport right back to your team as long as you don't overstep your boundaries. I think Ash back here is a good idea. Tracer, you can sit here and you can control this lane with ball, or you can go on the low ground and you can hit a late flank over here. Lucio, I think honestly you should just stick with the ball Ball and Tracer and just kind of speed them in and out whenever they go for their engages. And then also always be ready to peel, especially because like I think we're like 3 games in and kind of scanning through the rest of the codes. They ran Vendetta every single time. So we need to be anticipating that. Besides that, I like it. Let's see how we do. Oh, it's still... Let me just change the timer real quick. Okay. Now let's see what you got. Yeah, this is good setup. Right, just poke a little bit till you get pressured. You know Vendetta's there. Good slam. I think we could have gotten a lot out of that, but it was just too late. Right, ball slammed and Tracer. X was still just kind of like chilling. I don't know if you called that slam, but if you didn't, if you didn't call it, you and Lucio just got to be faster on that. Ultimately, I think it was all right. A little bit of a sketchy slam, but I think it's okay. Good mid-fight pressure coming out from Ash. See if you can boop him off. Okay, not bad. I love the follow-up from Lucio there. That was good. Oh, yeah, okay, we got to handle that Vendetta. Honestly, and I think with Tracer here, I don't mean to pick out you so much, X, but I think, honestly, we could be, like, what we're doing here is, it's okay because it baits attention, but since you were rotating while Ball was trying to hit this slam on the Diva, or on the Bastion, it didn't really end up, we didn't get a lot out of it. I mean, right, we took a little bit of, did we bait Turret Farm? I think we did bait Turret Farm. Let me see. That was before that. Okay, we baited Turret Farm earlier. Right, but we rolled through, hit this slam, and I think if you were... I'm just curious what got you to set up all the way over here. So you got pressured out. I feel like you're playing your distance a little much. Look for these shorter range angles. Play through here or here. I mean, if you really want to like go solo or something, we could just chill here, and then we could hit their backline. But this is where there's a disconnection in pressure, so that when Ball does go for this, we can't really get too much out of it. I mean, we force a lot of HP, but as you can see, almost no resources come out from that. We get a missed sleep dart, which is good. But while Vendetta is over here like terrorizing our backline, us poking on high ground isn't really going to do anything. It seems like, yeah, and I mean, and now he's terroring our backline. I assume this was communicated. I just think we got to be a little bit faster at handling this threat. And then, yeah, right, we have to give up space after that if our Lucio's dead. Oh, brother. What happened here? Oh, no. No, just keep giving up space. We do not have to fight for our lives with this. Like, honestly, just chill until the reset. We don't have to do anything super crazy, because this is where Vendetta's super strong. Is where she's able to just she can just terrorize your backline, and she can just tear people up in mid-fight. Once there's once you have some kind of slight advantage. Oh boy, you're going Vendetta. Okay, so, we switched up the team comp quite a bit. Alright, traditionally speaking, this isn't bad. This is like it's a pretty standard dive or poke backline. The Ball Tracer is still pretty consistent, and the Vendetta, I honestly would prefer to see a swap to some kind of hit scan. Maybe, I don't know if Bastion would do super good, mostly because we don't have a break and we don't have a matrix, kind of what we saw on Lijiang Tower, where it's like, yeah, the Bastion's good, but not unless he gets some kind of extra beef or something to help him out. Because if not, he's just big and clunky, and he still kind of falls over when he's out of Terraform. Nonetheless, Vendetta can work because you can match the Vendetta duel, and you can more easily sync pressure with your Ball and your Tracer. I don't think Ash was a mistake, though. Like, I genuinely think Ash was a good pick, especially on the second point where you can control these high grounds, and you can take little off angles like this, and look at this lane right here. This is huge, especially like when we're trying to get across point. there's just a lot of verticality that you can control on Ashe. I think you could equally do the same thing with Sojourn. If you feel like you didn't have the mobility to handle this Diva and this Vendetta, then probably swap Sojourn. If you really wanted to, you could swap Cass, but I don't. That might not be the greatest decision. Going for the last second touch. I love this setup, right? We're chilling. And then, I mean, honestly, let's see how we do. We commit to the double blink. Oh, so close. Nice. Okay, now, admittedly, we are not attacking the same. You're right, Ball and Tracer are not attacking the same people, but because we're applying pressure at the same time, the supports are not able to heal the Bastion, which makes Tracer getting the pick on makes Tracer getting the pick on Bastion significantly easier. This angle is not bad because you can sit on cart, you can watch the ball. I think no, because this is a mega, right? Ball should be fine here. Unfortunate that we missed the sticky. Look at that! Look at that! This is what we love to see. You guys seem to perform better on Ana. And yeah, now we just clean up. That was really good.
Ready for battle.
Hey, this is our very first review code. I just want to say I think you guys did a really good job. Despite, did we win? I don't know. It didn't sound like it, but like Fogsy said, there was a lot of really good like people taking personal responsibility and leadership, consistent calming. Honestly, calming better than like what I saw. I previously worked with a GM to champ team, and you guys were calming more than they were, and I'd love to see that. So we got a really strong foundation to build off of, and I think as long as we start to like sync our pressure a little bit more, we can really benefit off of that communication. I'm going to use the Route 66 code because I'm the most familiar with ball comps. That was I've done the most scrim and like tournament reviews on ball. Also, I would say I'm more comfortable with like the macro of Route 66. But if there is a code that you guys like really want to look at or you think is like more important, then DM me. If there's any code that you guys want me to look at your POV personally, I'm also willing to do that. Once again, just shoot me a DM. I got a lot of free time here, so anything you guys want to look at and fine tune, just let me know. Besides all that, I just want to talk a little bit of macro, so that everything, and just kind of like laying a foundation for everything else I'm going to talk about later on. Right now, it's really just about having a plan and syncing pressure. So that plan normally it comes down to positions. What powerful positions on the map do we have to control, and how do we control that? And which normally also comes in the form of like what cooldowns do we bait out, what cooldowns do we use, what cooldowns do we use at the same time, what ultimates do we use, and when. So I mean, just for instance, on this first point here, this is a very powerful part of the map, right? If this is most likely where the enemy team is going to rotate to, especially looking at their team comp, right? They're going to push cart, they're going to try to rotate around, but ultimately they want this high ground so that they can contest your high ground. Which means our dive heroes, these three, need to find a way to contest that without dying or immediately giving up the space. Now, we are in defense, so we're allowed to give up a little bit of space. But ultimately, we should be able to hold this high ground for a decent enough amount of time for our Ashe to be able to consistently put out pressure on the backline. Which means we should probably have. I like having ball up here, right? You already know the rollout. That's perfect. Well, not rollout, but you know the good starting position. We can have Tracer control here, and then maybe also this lane down here, maybe as like a late flank. Lucio should also play here to speed ball in and out, and then Kiriko should be on some kind of off angle where she can easily access Ashe. Because looking at the enemy team comp, they are gonna this Vendetta is really gonna be on top of our Ashe. It's just she's the most diveable target on this team, and chances are the hit scan tends to fall over first unless the backline does a good enough job of keeping it up, and also with the hit scan being able to position far enough back and safely enough. So that means we could have Kiriko. Maybe we have Kiriko here too, and just put out a little bit of poke damage because Kiri can afford to go here and then teleport back. Where if Ashe plays here, you might, you end up shooting and then you get hit or something, you coach gun back, and then you just kind of fall on main or something like that. So ultimately, having Ashe back here is the way to go. I like where we are setting up. So now it's a matter of getting them here, baiting out turret form. That is like. I think that is honestly the biggest win condition here is can we nullify turret form? Matrix is going to make that a little bit more difficult. But, I mean, it's nothing too big because they're going to take this high ground. Bastion's going to turret form. Diva's going to Matrix. And all we have to do is kite that. But if Ball can slam Bastion before he gets up there and he forces turret form early to make him react, and then we roll out, wait for turret form to go up, and then we dive again, we're probably going to get that win. The other cooldowns we really got to watch out for are sleep and nade, but I think it kind of comes down to the same thing where it's like if Ball can just roll through, it can bait those cooldowns. Honestly, same thing goes for Tracer or Lucio. If you guys can just go, hey, look at me, try to get those cooldowns out, and then do the actual dive, it's going to be a lot easier. As kind of commonly referred to as soft engages, this team comp is very good at doing soft engages because of the Lucio speed, right? We can just get in and out with really no waste of resource. We might have to amp or something like that, but if we can take their stuff for free, and then synchronize our pressure, I think we'll be able to take out this team comp no problem. That's also, I think this is a very well-crafted team comp because the Tracer Ball is very strong, having one flex, one hit scan, and the Lucio Kiri's just been meta for who knows how long. This is good. Okay, so they actually don't try to take the high ground right away. We set up on it. Just a little bit late, but it's okay because there was a Matrix anyways. We might have been able to get past that if Tracer blinked behind. But that's alright. Oh, look, another... Okay, we're setting up for another slam. Good synchronicity. I like that. Honestly, I think the slam itself was a little bit risky, but just the fact that we are engaging at the same time is what's important. I think Lucio could have been there earlier too, and just caught up with the engage, but Akiri catches up, so it works out relatively well. Now we have an isolated target, which means we need to be on top of this right away. Oh, damn, we tried to get the boop off. It's okay. Oh, almost. Okay, but no, it's good. Ashe kind of just controlling this pressure down main. I like it. And then the Vendetta in our backline, we didn't, she timed that relatively well. She was able to get around. Oh, shoot. When did this Vendetta get here? I didn't even see that. Okay, she shot up on our Kiri, and that was when we were engaging on the Diva. Okay. I think Lucio does a pretty good job peeling here. Unfortunate. So, how do we handle this? We can. I think maybe it comes down to anticipating this a little bit. We know there is a Vendetta, we just haven't seen the Vendetta dive yet. And also, I think you kind of go in a little too hard on that counter, right? All you need to do is say, hey, get away. But if you do it on your own, you're not going to win that duel. Vendetta's just too strong at that close range. Also, I think X could be peeling instead of this, because ultimately Nobody's synchronizing pressure with you right now. Maybe you're Ashe, but chances are, if I recall correctly, Joe is... Yeah, I mean, Joey's putting out pressure, but the second you go in, Ashe is out, right? And then that forces you to immediately use your recall. And it's kind of like, it's just a mess now because everybody's peeling. I think if we're going to handle, if there's a threat like that on our backline, especially if our Lucio's dead, everybody needs to be on it. Because, you know, this isn't, like, we're not running a poke composition where if there's not enough, like, pressure on the front line, they're not just going to walk us over. Like, we have the mobility to go and handle our backline and then immediately rotate to the front line after. After this, I mean, we should have just left. There was... Let me see. There might be, I think we just kind of get rolled from here. Because, I mean, we don't have Lucio to peel, and Vendetta kind of tore up the back line. It's like right about here, right? Yeah, okay. Good peel. Oh man, we're just going for a walk. Oh no, Maki! Okay. Yeah, I mean, after both our supports are dead, it's kind of cooked. I think that was just kind of, we need to give up space, but we kind of felt the need to keep fighting there. I don't know if it was like a die fast thing or like just see if we can get trades. But, I mean, after the supports are already dead, it's cooked. But I think we could have afforded to give up a lot more space and just survive there, so then we can have a much easier recontest. And now we swap. Okay, now we make 2 swaps. So, right, we still got the Tracer Ball. That's good. Anakiri is not bad, right? I mean, this is... You have the cooldowns necessary to deal with Vendetta as long as you're hitting your sleeps. Let me see what else. The Vendetta swap is interesting. I don't know a lot about Vendetta, but I mean, if you match the Vendetta duel, you might have a better chance. And then also you can synchronize pressure a little bit better with your Ball and Tracer. Ultimately, I think Ashe wasn't a mistake, especially once we get to the second point here, where there's a lot of verticality that you can control. And ultimately, the only people who can like get to you are D.Va and Vendetta. Vendetta can be a little bit problematic, but I mean, if we have our Kiri on top of us and we got our Suzu, or we hit the sleep dart, and we have our backline, these 3 guys just kind of positioned together very tightly, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I mean, if you feel like you're not able to have the kind of that same mobility, like you can't really get away from these heroes, you're probably still better off having a hit scan, because there's a lot of long range sightlines on this map that you just can't control anymore, and they have that advantage on us now with Bastion. Not a terrible thing, but I think we're giving up an advantage that we previously had. You can swap to Sojourn, which will give you that extra little bit of mobility. Please, for the love of God, don't swap to Soldier. You could swap to Cass, which would give you an easier time dealing with the Vendetta. But I'm not going to nitpick it too much. I think it's got potential. So now we go here for our last touch, and this is kind of what I was talking about before, where it's like, since we fought with our lives before, this touch is going to be messy. Oh, this was... chef's kiss. That was beautiful. Look at this. Our ball rolls up on the backline. Tracer immediately goes on the Bastion. They can't heal the Bastion because they're too busy getting here. It's dead for sure. Yeah, even with that pack, he's screwed. Look at that. Now that is the peak of the Tracer Ball comp. You guys don't even have to be attacking the same target. You don't have to be at the same point on the map. You just have to be doing the same thing at the same time, roughly speaking. That was really clean. And then Vendetta's probably going to dive now, right? But since our supports are so tightly knit together, it's free kill. and then the sleep, I mean, Ball can just get over there and clean up. And after this, just mid-fight. Now, despite it being a messy start, I think you guys handled that really well. And yeah, right now you just finish it up. And then, okay, so I think the double flex DPS has a little bit of potential. And you guys seem to function relatively well with an Ana Kiri. I mean, honestly, that's it right there. You guys just have to rinse and repeat. Now it's a matter of controlling this PowerPoint on the map again. Oh no. Oh no! Look at that! Beautiful, right? I mean, she was isolated. It was a complete blunder on her end. It's a free pick. Alright. Yeah, set up again. Now that we don't have the Lucio, it might be a little bit harder to control this spot on the map, but probably not, honestly, because the Vendetta. You just play around that corner. Look at this, these crazy overextensions. All right, yeah, actually, I should probably talk a little bit about ult plan now that we're here. Because I wasn't even looking at it before. So, we have mines, we have, you know, Big Slash, Pulse Bomb, Nano, and Kitsune. So, question is, who do we nano? Well, I think maybe a nanoed Vendetta is the play. Nanoed Ball isn't terrible, but I haven't seen it work super great. You can use it to keep him alive, maybe, but honestly, I think it's better off going to the Vendetta where she can just like absolutely frag out on the backline. But it's important that we do that mid-fight. Do we pair it with her ult? Maybe. I mean, you're gonna get nano before, and I think if you hold on to that for too long, it might not end up being as effective. But even just a nano Vendetta or a nano Vendetta with her ult is gonna work pretty well either way. I don't know about that preemptive nade. Also with Kitsune, I mean, Kitsune is just a great ult. You can use it. You can pair it with mines. Seems like we already used it though, so. I mean, the thing about mines is it's just like a big Mei wall that does damage. You use it to split the enemy team, and if you get picks, you get picks. Cool. Holy crap, you got a lot of picks. Nice follow-up with the Tracer. I love it. Now our backline is getting destroyed, but I mean, we just killed 3, so who cares? Our backline is not getting destroyed, actually. Because, I mean, look at that. You just timed it way too well. That was a good counter dive. Nice. All right, rinse and repeat. Now, we only use one ult, so now, do we have let's see, who has the ult advantage here? We got Pulse Bomb, not a super high value ult. Nano, I would say I'd give it like a 6, I'm not going to say, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Kitsune's fucking broken, it's like a 9. Bomb's like a 3. This is also kind of dog, probably like a 3 or a 4. I don't know what Vendetta's ult is, so I'm just going to say a 5. Rally, probably like a 7. And no nano. Okay, so really all we gotta watch out here for is Vendetta ult and Rally. Now, the Bastion ult shouldn't be too much of a problem, but if he does pair it with another ult, you gotta be ready for that. Ultimately, there's not a lot we can do other than get out of the way. But I would be anticipating, after all this has happened, they're gonna be using some ults this fight, and we need to figure out a way we can respond in kind. So, I mean, Diva Bomb shouldn't be too much of a problem. Ultimately, this is just see if we can set up the Vendetta frag, and maybe see if we can Pulse Bomb somebody. We don't want to throw out Kitsune for a Diva Bomb, though. Okay. They just waste Bastion ult. No problem. Good slam. Where's our Tracer? Okay. Actually, this is good. This is solid, right? Because you ended up forcing Rally, and we baited out Anti. So now, the second time we dive, we shouldn't have much of an issue. Unfortunate. I think it was just because you you engaged when they weren't setting up again. That was a good Kitsune, right? They made their engage. Because the thing about Kitsune is you want to do it when they kind of can't go back, when they've really committed to a fight, and then you want to put it in deep as their enemy lines as possible so that they're forced to back up uncomfortably. We nano the ball, which is, yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I think I would still prefer to see it on the Vendetta though. Forcing out cooldowns, unfortunate. I mean, it's overtime. I think all you got to do here is instead of going here and continuing to fight, just live. Just try to hide. It might work, it might not, but honestly, it's just like we're at overtime right now. And if we can survive and maybe get a last touch, it would be nice. But you know, it's pretty unlikely here. Do we make any more swaps? Let's see. No more swaps. Okay. Yeah, no more swaps. Okay. Now we gotta look at what are the crucial parts on the map we have to control again. Personally, I would like to see. I think Maki's got the right idea here. We need to control this long range sight line and cut them off. This is where it would be so good to have a hit scan like an Ash or something sitting, because you can kind of like play on this like rim here. But I mean, even if you're just here and like they come through this area and you hit like a dynamite or you put a mine here and then they slam and you just click their heads with railgun or something like that, it's just gonna be so good. Because or even like when you get pushed back here and you have when you're working with like this part of the map, this is gonna be so much easier to deal with them. Now, not that Vendetta won't work, because you have this you have a little bit of verticality here, which is gonna help you. In that case, just working with what we got here, I think we should have our long range heroes, our supports, our oh no, oh wait, okay. Support should probably play somewhere around here, and then if they can, over here, and then we should have Joe Mama set up here, and then do like an off the rooftops thing when they come here. Or you can try and control this lane, which I would assume the Diva or the Bastion is going to try to go through here. And then Ball, I mean, you already know what you're doing, right? You just want to keep playing this choke, just roll through, hit your slams, and you're just going to kind of juggle between these two spots on the map. If they go main, it's an easy slam, and then the supports can just kind of pick them out from there. Now let's see how that plays out. I forgot to mention X, but I mean, you're basically going to do the same thing as Ball. Just control those two lanes. Wow, you guys are going deep in enemy territory. I think this is a little much. Especially since your supports do not have line of sight on you. Like, honestly, we don't need to do anything super crazy right now. We just need to... Yeah, like, I mean, it was just bound to happen. Like, we don't need to be doing all that right now. We just need to chill. Once we get here... And there's like once we can actually set up and have a plan where we can control these parts on the map, everything else is just going to be kind of messy. Yeah, and then I mean we get cleaned up and they're going to get half the cap point cap now. It's just too hasty. You guys shouldn't even be fighting right now. You should be walking away, because it's not going to be very long at all before Diva's going to be in booster range, and then you guys are going to die, and it's just going to be a whole stagger fest. Yeah, and then Ana's dead, and then Kira might be able to teleport away, hopefully. Okay, Kira, yeah, but now you don't have an Ana. Like, even now, where it's like, okay, shoot, we're getting pressed on, like, just chill. See, okay, yeah, you got the right idea. You guys know what you're doing. Just sit there. I mean, you're getting pressured out here, so this is good. Just reset and set up again. Okay, we get poked out a little bit, it's whatever. Good, okay. Now we are controlling this high ground. We are going to force them to look up. All this comes down to now is Ball rolling over, calling 3, 2, 1 slam, and then you guys just jump their backline. Now, we do got to watch out for these cooldowns, but if need be, we can just kind of have a soft engage. There's our soft engage. Do we bait on any cooldowns? I'm sorry, man. I just gotta take a peep here. I just gotta... No disrespect, but I just gotta... Okay. It happens. It happens. Okay, sorry. let me take a look again. We kind of rolled through. I think it's just... I don't know, the way we did it just didn't feel like we were, like, had any real intention. And because of that, they just... all they did was kite back. They were like, okay, whatever. Let me see. We got Ball, Tracer, Vendetta. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I mean, if we're gonna go for break, see, that's why I don't really like Vendetta right now, is because it's just so like you go in and then you have nothing and then you're screwed, and everybody can just kind of cutting you. Maybe I know this is just a theory. I like take this with a grain of salt because I don't like. I need to look at Vendetta more and how her playstyle works. But honestly, I think if we have Tracer and Ball do this, like the soft engage I'm talking about, where we just kind of roll through and bait out cooldowns, and we have Vendetta play here, almost like she's poking and just kind of like throwing out her stuff. And then after they roll through and they come for the second cycle, that's when Vendetta comes in, because it's kind of like an all or nothing hero where you use your cooldowns to come in, and either you use it to get the kill or you use it to get out, and hopefully you have like, hopefully it's enough distance to actually survive. But on a team comp like this, where you got Brig on a D.Va and another Vendetta, they're just going to chase you down and run you over. But I mean, look at this. All this is too late now. And then, yeah, I mean, they rally us, whatever. But like, I'm not saying you shouldn't slam, but it's just because like the way we did it the first time, where we just kind of like rolled through D.Va and Tracer just kind of like poked at the Brig shield. All it did was say, hey, look at us. And then your dive wasn't as effective because you didn't have that element of surprise that you would have previously had. If you hit the slam and drop down on, you know, one or two of the same target. Okay.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, just live. Just live. Play for third point. Maybe not. Good minds. Good anti. Unfortunate. Yeah, it was probably cooked from the beginning. I'm in a valiant effort though. I think you guys did relatively. You did well with what you had. But also, I mean, they had the rally. Oh yes, the Sojourn swap. Let's see it. Let's see it. Because I mean, it's the same thing on this third point, right? Big long sight lines. High grounds. This is where Sojourn thrives. Now all you got to do is charge rail, and don't let it get wasted on Matrix. Okay. There's a mid fight here. I swear to God, if somebody dies from this Bastion ult. Good. Okay, this is alright. We're kind of playing soft. Oh, I didn't even notice we swapped D.Va. My bad. Okay, so the D.Va is actually really good against the Bastion here. Also pretty good at handling this Vendetta threat. I don't know why I'm acting like you can see me pointing at my screen, but yeah, no, I think this is a good way to get around the on a break issue, because a lot of the times when we did those dives and they weren't, you know, they weren't perfectly linked up, sometimes it would just end up in nothing, or we would just kind of lose the fight. But with the nano engaged at the same time, Tracer is terrorizing the Brig and Vendetta. That was really solid. See, like, we don't even have to get kills. We just have to take their space. Oh, no. Where were you? Oh, we overextended. This is too much, Joe. Joe, you're a hit scan. Just chill here. I mean, this is really it. Like, go here, and then if you're going to go here... Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of micro, but it's just because I really like talking about hit scan. When you're playing a hero that relies on their range more like this, and this does apply to the support players too, you want to work on swinging advantages as opposed to pushing them. So in this instance here, let's just say I'm Kiriko, and I can see that my enemy team is kiting backwards. So instead of walking forward and pushing around this corner, where I will get put in a close range sight line that gets me cooked, I will instead play on a position that allows me to go around so that I can maintain my long-range distance and still have the necessary sightline. Now, this might even be a little bit too close, but I mean, even if we're just like here, and then that way, when the D.Va goes for a boost or something like that, it's going to be a lot easier. I think we did a relatively good job. Oh, I think we got a little too hungry there. It shouldn't all be over if our hit scan's dead. I'm gonna rewind a little bit here just because I feel like I kind of got caught up. So with this engage here, I like this. We got this little pincer here. We're just kind of playing neutral, and then we drop down. Now we kind of get stuck dancing around because the Vendetta gets to us first. But it's okay because with the Diva now, it's a little bit more about just kind of surviving and antagonizing in the mid-fight. We got picked off. That's okay. I think we got a little too hungry for the Nano. I don't think the Nano is bad here, but I mean, at the same time, I think we could save it for a more... Be like, hey, we're going to do this fight 3, 2, 1 Nano, and then everybody jumps in, and then Tracer pulse bombs along with it or something like that. There just needs to be some kind of synchronization of pressure, because this really ultimately just forces our Diva to play, and maybe even overextend a little bit. Now, it does take space, and it kills time, and we can bait out turret form, which is good. But then, after this... Oh, it's the Vendetta. That's so dumb. I hate how the top attack, like, bumps you. Along with the Brig Whip. I just think it's crazy that she can, like, completely kill your mobility like that. This is good. Control that powerful part of the map. Good job hiding X. Okay, last moment Kitsune. Sure. And then they just have a nanoed Vendetta that we didn't expect. Yeah, it's okay. It's not good? Okay, like, either way. This is, this is last touch. I don't think anything super great is going to come out of it. We don't even have our tank. Yeah. Okay. I think it was just kind of poor ult management, and then a little bit of overextension. We did use the pulse bomb. I didn't see where. But I do know that regardless, whatever, wherever it was too late. Okay. I love Winton was the coach.
I prep all night for this mission.
Whatever. Oh boy. Okay. It's creative. It's creative. I like it. So we got the double flex DPS, which is a little, I would prefer to see a Lucio maybe. I'm curious. What is the thought process behind it? Is it a comfort pick? Because I mean, I'm not like totally against it, but I just feel like, I don't know, it's just not very traditional. Because you could play Zen here, and then, I mean, it's good frontline pressure, but it's not like there's a shield to shoot. I mean, there's Brigitte shield, but it's not like there's a Rhine shield, and Vendetta and Diva just like are gonna absolutely obliterate you. And it's not like we can go Brig Zen. I mean, we could go Brig Zen again, I guess, because we have the ball and the Tracer. The Hanzo's an interesting pick because you got the really good mid-fight pressure, and the one-tap potential, which can kind of get through the Matrix issues. Kind of acts like a hit scan here. And also, there's a lot of wall climbing potential. I like this setup here. I'm just not sure about the Zenyatta. I think maybe we should do a Lucio, or even... I don't know why we'd swap off Ana. I like the Ana personally. The only drawback to playing Hanzo here is the consistency, like the damage consistency, and the Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike is just so dog, unless you have like a grab or something. But realistically speaking, we might be able to do something where we like use Kitsune to force them to kite back into Dragon ult. That's the only thing I can think of. But let's see how we do it. So they're going to try to control this high ground, and ultimately it's going to be up to Ball and Tracer to do that. Hanzo's going to sit here and poke from a long range, see if he can get that Bastion out of the way. Actually, I do like the Hanzo pick. I think that's a pretty intelligent move. Ooh, nice sonar. We got information. Ball's setting up. Oh, this is clean, right? We don't need to do anything crazy. We just need to look for an opportunity. Okay, Ball rolls up. Tracer, get in there. Oh, so clean. But you got to acknowledge, they have turret form. They have probably both sleep and nade. I doubt they've used it yet. Yeah. So this is not This is not the big dive, right? This is the hey, look at me dive. This is the soft engage. Slam, get your little bit of poke damage, maybe try to bait a cooldown, and then get out. Because we get antied, and we stayed. Oh, we stayed. Why did we stay? Yeah. It's just, you also gotta, it's important to know when your dive is gonna be like, this is the moment, this is where we go and we take the advantage, and oh, this is where we're just fishing. Good pick, because now once Hanzo controls this high ground, you're just, it's honestly pretty tough to deal with. The only problem is going to be this D.Va, and kind of, there might be a little bit of lack of peel, especially if we're having the ball and the Tracer go on their backline. But, hey, look, he's peeling, so honestly, I take that back. This might work out relatively well. It's important to note about, oh, you almost jumped to the high ground there. It's important to note about Zenyatta compositions is you can only play as far up as the Zenyatta can see, or else you're just not really going to be able to utilize his damage properly enough. If you get a kill with that, oh my lord. Look at this guy. Okay, a little bit of an overextending Andy, but it might work. Man, this is going to be a long video. I'm sorry, y'all. This is like an hour. Alright. Tracer! Okay. Could work. Could work. As long as you know not to overstay your welcome. And you don't. Did you bait out any cooldowns? Let me see. Let me see. Well, there's no turret form. I don't know if that was because of you. Let's take a look here. I want to see. Oh, there's a sleep dart. I like that. Just live. And you can re-engage with your ball before that sleep dart comes back.
I am accompanying the payload.
Hopefully. Maybe not. But still. Oh, look, she's so isolated. She's dead. She's dead. Right? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Let's take a look here. I see why you went for that. Like, that looked like a golden opportunity. I think it just comes down to Bastion having turret farm, you know? And now you don't have your ball, so just chill. Push card a little bit, but, you know, don't overextend or nothing. I don't know why I'm on Hanzo POV. Yeah, just live. I really like the way X is playing right now. Like, you totally have the right idea where it's just control a part of the map, just kind of nag them. Just let them know that you're there occasionally, try to bait out stuff, and then get ready for the big setup. I mean, this is solid. Now the question is, what route do you take to get to the backline easier? And I think this is it. Because before it's like this can work, but the problem is D.Va and Vendetta has really good high ground control, and also this leaves you out in the open for poke damage by Bastion. You can get whip-shotted by Vendetta and all that, whip-shotted by Brig. But if you just like go up here and you just drop on their high ground for a sec, and then you can get this Vendetta or something, and just like continually keep forcing them back until you got their supports like all the way in the back pocket over here. Send Kiri pushing cart. Good pressure on the Bastion. Great synchronization of pressure. Boom, you bait out turret form. Now just live, Don't do nothing crazy. And then go back on the Bastion. Go back on the Bastion! I don't know, man. I think we totally could have killed Bastion after that. Like, you also gotta acknowledge what cooldowns you bait out. And then, like, what heroes are at a disadvantage. So, if Ana doesn't have her sleep, then you go for Ana. If Bastion doesn't have her has a turret form, you go for Bastion. Kiri doesn't have Suzu or Step, you go for it, right? That'll come with time, though. And now it's just cleanup. Sorry, I gotta take another look here. Oh, we hit this absolutely wild trance. That's what happened. The flank Yada. Alright. Now, get up here. Deal with this Bastion, and then get up here. And just absolutely stuff this choke. Do not let them get out. Alright, good stagger. I think we were just a little late to handle the Bastion threat, which kind of allowed them to get that position early, but we staggered them, so it's fine. Nice. And then, yeah, we just control these long sight lines. I'm actually kind of liking the Hanzo pick here. And I guess I'm actually starting to... the Zengada's growing on me. And now they're using Freya to counter your long-range pressure, which is good. I'd like to see us hitting up this high ground. Oh. Love to see it. Ball hits a soft slam just to try and get a little bit of info. Perhaps a cooldown. And they're really just going to try to stuff this part of the map, which they should, because that's where their high ground is. So we just got to get around that and try to bait out some cooldowns. Are you going to hit another 4-man? Okay, sure. Now, that works because your Tracer's with you. Your Hanzo had line of sight. I think that's kind of where Ashe performs a little bit better in that scenario, because she can just click heads the second they get slammed up in the air. But it's it's fine. I think the Hanzo's okay. And you force out rally, and then you roll through. Now look at that. You use your ult to bait out important cooldowns, and then once those important cooldowns are gone, you can kill everybody. Like on my life. Let me just see here. You slam. Anti-nade. Let's just see what goes on. Right, we got anti-nade, her mobility, the bash, the whip shot, and rally. I mean, boom, that's huge. And then you force people to play out of position. This is kind of what we're talking about. It's like the Mei wall with damage. You use it to split the enemy team. So realistically, you should be able to kill D.Va right now, because you split her between the backline, and then since there's no attention on D.Va, right, it's a free kill. I think I just walked through. That was actually a really clean set of mines. All right, now this is probably going to be our last fight here. Since we did use that, we're going to be relying on Kitsune and Zen'Ult to win this fight. If we can get a good pulse, sweet. Even though it's not the greatest of ultimates. And look, they use all of their ults preemptively. They don't actually... Baiting out. Really good rotate, too, right? You guys kind of noticed that you were getting pinched up here. So you all just kind of took this room in the high ground. Yeah, so I mean, they kind of hard engaged, and you know that all of their ultimates are gone now, so ultimately this Kitsune is going to be good. I just don't know how this man keeps getting kills with Dragon Strike. Good pulse bomb. And then you guys flank around. I like that, right? Because you got somebody here, they're putting pressure there. The Kitsune, everybody's going to look there, so Ball and Tracer can roll around this way. Yeah, that was really good. And I believe that is it. And you guys win that one because you have more time. Yeah, okay. So, good job. I just, right now, I think it really comes down to timing our engages, understanding the soft engage, and then also knowing who to target off of the soft engage. Generally speaking, you just target whoever's available, but if you have, the luxury of baiting out Bastion turret form, and then Bastion doesn't get every single cooldown thrown into him, Bastion's going to be a free kill. And then also coordinating the ults, knowing kind of when to preserve ults. You guys do a relatively good job at that. I didn't see anybody like drop 5 or anything like that. I think that's all I got right now. If you guys got any questions or anything, let me know. Sorry I made this so long. I just wanted to get over everything and in detail. Also, if you guys want me to look at personal POVs, shoot me a DM.